What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Find Me in Seattle show. I'm your host every week here. My name is Connor Kaysen. Today, we're in the University District. This is where the University of Washington campus is on. I am in a courtyard between some of these new fancy buildings. I am not sure if these are like dorms or if they're just like apartment residents, but they are very nice, and I assume maybe more expensive than what I paid when I was in college. I think when I was in college, my rent was like $400 a month, like $800 for 2 bedrooms. But that was also in Eugene, Oregon, not in Seattle, Washington. So that does make a big difference. So, Connor, what are we doing here today? I got a message like a week ago, just like a random DM on Instagram from this girl named Angela. And she was like, I've been making these cinnamon rolls in my apartment for the last couple of weeks and just experimenting with the recipe. And I'm curious about doing pop-ups and like making this a little side hustle business while she's attending school here. Do you want to come try them? And I am a sucker for cinnamon rolls. So I said yes. So we are here now, and I'm going to meet with her and try out these cinnamon rolls. One of the things when it comes to requests like this, I get messages daily on people who are like, hey, come try my place, come try my food, come drink this coffee, whatever it is. And a lot of times I just add them to a spreadsheet and either do or do not get to them eventually. And sometimes the schedule just works out. But what I always tell them is I don't guarantee anything. Most likely I will tag them in my Instagram story just to like document the process. And really what that is because it sends them a DM. It just creates a pin in that conversation. So in 5 years from now when she's famous, I'm like, oh, look at like I first posted about you in 2025. And that's just like a cool thing to look back on. And as time's been going on since I've been doing this for 8-9 years, it is really cool to look back at like Instagram stories started in like 16 or 17 and to see a bunch of the businesses that I tagged back then is pretty cool. I figured this is an interesting thing, so I'm going to bust out the mic and maybe we'll do a little vlog here and just talk about pop-ups in general. And so I'm supposed to meet her here at 10:30. And so let me send her a DM and we're going to check this out and you're going to come with me. So Angela, she's got like her cottage license so she can bake them in her home. She's still like in the experimental phase, learning about how to time everything out, how to box it all up, how to get it out, and then dealing with how do I get these in the customer's hands? Like people might get sales, but you can do the pop-up method where you show up at a local business on a certain time and people come and line up and either buy them or pre-order them, or she could sell them one by one with people who come order and come and hand deliver them. So while we were outside and she was handing me this box of cinnamon rolls, someone came up and was just asking about it. It's like, that's a very good sign as a business, is when people just naturally see it and like, those look good, how can I get those? And she told Angela all about the student networks, and I think what the best opportunity is going to be is to join one of those clubs and be able to pop up in Red Square in the University of Washington and just sell them directly, either pre-sell them and distribute them to all the students there, or just show up, with 100 cinnamon rolls and sell them individually. If she's selling cinnamon rolls at $6 a cinnamon roll and she sells 100, that's $600. That pays for the next couple of batches, and that's like a great way to get feedback, start going, get her best network and all of the customers close to her into the product, demanding the product, and then go from there. And then another idea that I had for her is she talked about doing a Vietnamese cinnamon roll and partnering with a Vietnamese coffee shop, maybe selling like, you get a cinnamon roll and a Vietnamese coffee and you split the profits with the coffee shop and sell that for a day and just be getting notoriety from there. And then the pop-up adventure begins where you're doing pop-ups, you got the lines, and that leads into retail if she chooses to want to go down that route. I love meeting people starting businesses like this because they're still like so deep into figuring everything out. One of my things I say a lot about businesses nowadays is the phrase, just because you bake a great cupcake does not mean you should start a cupcake business. Because this is what happens. You start baking a delicious cupcake. All your friends love it. They say, you need to start a business. You start a business. And you go and you start the business. And then what happens is quickly the business becomes everything that you're working on, and you get out of baking cupcakes because all of a sudden you're thinking about hiring employees, sourcing products, marketing the business, doing accounting, managing your sales, all the ups and downs of selling these products, and you lose sight of the thing that you originally fell in love with, and that is baking cupcakes, and it's hard. And so it was really cool to meet Angela and see she's at the very beginnings of her journey here, and she's a UW business student, and so she's going to school and learning about business and then starting a business on the side, which I think is super cool. She's experimented a bunch with apparel, and now she has become obsessed with baking and the cinnamon roll. She's received a ton of great feedback from her friends about cinnamon rolls, so now she's pursuing that as an experimental business, and she's obviously on top of it by calling me and some of the other influencers to come try them. And after taking a few bites, these are pretty darn good. And there are 4 flavors in here. There's the original. She got a Dubai chocolate, a Biscoff, and the other one I think has a strawberry jam in it. And the strawberry jam I think is a real creative one. And I think that's going to come down to like experimenting with flavors and marketing it and just like perfecting that recipe. And so one of the things I told her is like, I'm here, like I'm curious about making this video, and she needs to be prepared, right? Like her Instagram doesn't have any photos on. I was like, you gotta get some photos up there, because the second I tag you on Instagram, like at least a couple dozen, if not hundreds, if not 1,000 people are gonna go look at her profile. And she is still in the planning feedback phase and hopefully gonna start a pop-up here eventually. But this is really cool. So technically I am the first customer for rolled flour, and I think that's exciting. And I wish Angela the best of luck, and I'm excited to see where they go. I'm gonna take these home and eat the rest of them. That is it for me here at the University of Washington. Once again, I am Connor Kaysen here at Find Me in Seattle, the guy with the yellow backpack. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again for the next one.